Well, I'm joined now by three very famous faces from that time. Dougie Ray, Mick Robertson and Jenny Hanley, all from Magpie. Pleased to meet you.
Hello, Carl.
You've reunited now. I guess, you know, your show was the funkier, more the edgier show, wasn't it, than Blue Peter? That was the rival.
For sure.
Did you... the director's going to say that. Did you obviously talk about the Jacksons? Did you ever interview them?
We didn't ever have them on the show, I don't think. Sadly, I wish we had. But they were massive at the same in the 70s. Jackson 5, just as we were going out.
I guess you're just as shocked as everybody else this morning.
I particularly remember that we were doing an outside broadcast when we heard that Elvis was dead. So that dates it, doesn't it? But it's, you know, the king and the king of pop.
What do you remember, though, from that time, from the music scene, that time? Because it was great fun,
He was on top
wasn't
of the pops.
I was.
Hey, you cool operator, you.
Live, singing live, dancing with Pan's people. It was the most scary.
Dance
with Pan's people. It's like a dream.
Pan's people.
Well, yeah, well, it was a very scary thing to do if you couldn't dance. I had two left feet. But,
Douglas was jealous.
I had to do it.
I was very jealous.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing.
You couldn't sing.
But Mick was the nearest thing to Mark Bolan, weren't you?
Well, look, hold on. Let's just have a look at the hair.
Look at
Can you have a look at who's going to get that? Have you look at that hat? On Tony, there. Look at that. You can see that hair. Now that's real.
Hair was a wonderful thing in those days. And it grew, and it was very easy to
And it was celebrated. And just have a quick look at this one as well. This is the annual from 1970. This is all three of you there together. Isn't that just you must have some wonderful memories of what was such an incredible time.
We had a very good time. It was to be paid to be doing that show was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a real privilege. I always used to look after the animals, sadly, who either died on me, started procreating, or fell asleep.
It was the 70s.
Or doing the toilet. They always seem to be doing the toilet.
That's right. We had a
studios,
camel on, and I had 5 minutes with a camel, walking around a camel, and during the whole time, it released itself.
That was the great thing about TVs back in those days. OK, what we're going to do, Dougie, is you've got 5 minutes with a camel. Go.
That's right, yeah.
But that was it. We didn't have a script, whereas the poor Blue Peter presenters did.
They had to learn it all, didn't they?
Yes.
Back in the day.
So, I mean, they obviously looked at us and said, there's no way they're going to learn that. So 5 minutes with a camel, go.
That's very familiar. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of your moments here.
OK.
We'd like to introduce 3 new words into the English language, starting off with a Douglas.
Well, a Douglas, I'm very bored with using the telephone. It takes such a long time dialing, so instead, just think about the numbers, and through telepathy, they dial themselves.
A Hanley is because I don't like going to the hairdresser because I get fed up waiting for my hair to dry, so the idea is you send your hair, but you can go wherever you want.
And I'd like to have named after me a machine that would drive me home. I'd be able to go to sleep in the back of my car, and I call that a Robertson. There you are. Etymology, a fascinating subject, and there are some really interesting words here. For instance, Jenny, I can't find Hanley, but look at that one. Or, Jenny? Douglas?
What's it like looking back? Does that sort of bring tears to your eyes a little bit? Nice memory.
Yeah. It was a very happy time, and it's actually interesting, isn't it, to compare children's television then and children's television now.
So different.
It's very, very different. It's so much quicker now. But I think it'd be good fun if you were watching with your child and you watched us and your child was watching now.
Have your children watched the show?
I put Magpie on. Well, my children watched the other show. You know,
Hannah Montana.
Blue Peter.
You can't have that. You're watching Magpie.
And I slipped on a Magpie tape, and my daughter and son were watching. And they said, Dad, there's somebody on there that used to look like you.
Huge sideburns.
I just got to follow.
Guys.
My daughter said she didn't notice my face or my hair. She just said, your eyebrows are a different colour, Dad. Eyebrows.
Listen, guys, we could talk all morning about this. Sadly, we've run out of time.
Oh, nice
but it's
to meet
lovely
you
to
then.
see the three of you together, and it was nice reminiscing over those moments. Thank
Great.
you
Now
so much.
available on DVD.
Oh, there you go. Now available. You're just a plugger, aren't you? Now available on DVD. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
OK.